Oh God, the dog's howling.
Not gonna lie, there's noise in my house too, bro.
I have children.
Dog goes berserk for no reason.
I like it though. It makes it feel rustic.
It does.
What the podcasting?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Is that your dog?
I'm kind of surprised Noah didn't get a dog.
Moonshine, shut up.
Does the dog listen to that?
Does he listen to me saying shut up?
Yeah, does that work?
Sometimes. Wait, he's still barking.
Such a peaceful name, Moonshine, and then shut up. Followed right after.
Okay, what is happening?
Moonshine is like peaceful, but like it implies a lot of weird stuff.
UPS guy. Dog hate UPS men. Dog hate UPS men.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of a First Attempt Filmcast. Today, I'm joined by two new guests that I went to high school with. One guest we got is Mr. Muhammad Saleh.
Oh, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you. And our other, just as important guest is Mr. Lucas Smerica.
Thank you for the flattery, Jaden.
Yes. It's not flattery. It's just equality, buddy. Okay. Well, today we're talking about kind of a classic, right? Modern classic. It's The Notebook, based off of Nicholas Sparks' best-selling novel of the same name. I'm going to tell you a little bit about The Notebook before we get started. So, The Notebook is a 2004 romance drama directed by Nick Cassavetes. I just said that with like a Spanish spin on it. I'm not sure.
That seems appropriate.
Okay. It's starring Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. The Notebook had a budget of $29 million US and it made on $116 million US at the box office, so made back a good chunk of change. Over there at Rotten Tomatoes, there's a little bit of a disparity between the critics and the regular movie watchers. It has a 53% critic score and 85% audience score. Also, on Letterboxd, if you're a user of that app, it's 3.4 stars out of 5. And The Notebook is currently on Netflix right now, available for you to watch. Might be leaving soon, so you should get on that. And if you're listening to this, definitely go watch it if you haven't already before proceeding to hearing our thoughts.
Yeah, it actually leaves at the end of this year, so.
Okay, yes, that's what I thought.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a positive critic review. Shed some positive light on this movie today that we are about to discuss. Megan Basham of National Review said, "Sure, The Notebook's story of first love tends towards histrionic and self-important, but if that's the case, perhaps Cassavetes, like Shakespeare, simply knows how to give people what they want." What do you guys make of that?
Yeah, I agree with that statement, you know. There's a reason that like The Notebook is sort of that stereotypical romance movie that, you know, the stereotypical woman would like absolutely love, and then all guys would like refuse to watch, you know, because you know it does have that, you know, exaggerated story of love that really brings it all together, and it has, you know, attractive actors and actresses playing the part, and I feel like that's what, you know, the audience loves.
That's a good point.
Relating to the critic's comment about the self-important part, one of the most famous lines of the movie is when Noah's yelling to Allie, "What do you want?" And it's, I think, like what everybody would love, especially women, is to not have like distractions outside, like parents' opinions and such, and to just want what you want, like how Ryan Gosling said, "What do you want?" If it were just as simple as that, what one wants, it's such a more inviting and satisfying fantasy than real life, which is why many people like it a lot.
Moo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lucas, but I have a response to what you said about the attractive actor part.
Yeah.
They are attractive, good-looking people, but
Exactly.
there's some irony, and you bring that up because here's a quote from Ryan Gosling. Okay.
Oh, I
Ryan,
think I know where you're going with this. But
yeah,
yeah.
you've heard of this. Okay. Ryan Gosling said Nick Cassavetes, however the hell you pronounce the director's name,
Yeah.
I'm quoting from him, so this is like first person, called me to meet at his house. When I got there, he was standing in his backyard and he looked at me and said, I want you to play this role because you're not like the other young actors out there in Hollywood. You're not handsome. You're not cool. You're just a regular guy who looks a bit nuts.
Yeah. I know. I saw that like looking into it after, and like I'm surprised, because like Ryan Gosling was like the sweetheart of the early 2000s, man.
He's the guy.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy in my opinion, but yeah,
Especially
it's
with that
crazy.
beard.
So like, so do you think he just failed with his, judgment of Ryan Gosling? Because I'm sure like most viewers of the movie like thought he was an attractive guy. So did he just fail trying to go in that direction, you
I
think?
feel like in movies, what we consider like unattractive is actually attractive in real life. Like it's always, you're never gonna be as ugly as like they portray him on the screen, or like talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course he was wrong. Like Ryan's a fine-looking guy, and
Mhm.
I think sort of years after this movie is when he came to be like the the like cutie that everyone drools over because as it goes on to say in this article, fans protested because he didn't nab the 2011 Honor of People's Sexiest Man Alive. Like, you know
Wow.
what I'm saying? And he was once cast in a film because the director didn't think he was very handsome, and soon after he's the sexiest man alive, or he could
Yeah,
have been.
no, definitely backfired.
Imagine if the actor who played Lon, I don't know the actor's name, but if the director switched the characters, the actor who played Lon would be Noah in the story, and Ryan Gosling would be Lon in the story. And the actor who plays Lon, do you know his name, Jaden?
I know he's in a lot of movies. Like he was in the
I know.
Sonic movie earlier this year,
He was.
Oh, let me
and
find.
I hated seeing him in this movie. Actually, he grew on me, but I just don't like that guy for some reason.
Dude,
he's got that stereotypical handsome Hollywood face,
I know.
whereas Ryan
I
Gosling
hate it.
doesn't, but it's still a good face, which is, I think that's good because his character is like perfect rich boy, and Ryan Gosling is like a commoner. So it makes sense that the casting is like that.
dude, actually, I'm actually gonna disagree with you guys. Like, I actually liked Lon, to like the point where like in the movie I felt that Allie, Rachel McAdams,
Mhm.
like should have actually like chosen him. And that kind of goes into like that's part of the reason why I feel the movie was bad. Honestly, my first opinion of the movie is that it was pretty bad. I didn't,
Me too.
think it was good at all.
Yeah, it's really not convincing that she would choose one over the other because they don't give you a reason to like really not like Lon besides that his mom or her mom made the same mistake of not being with like the like commoner guy of her dreams because this guy he didn't do anything wrong. She's just like sort of defying her class.
His
by-
only his only flaw is that he's the second guy. It's not the first one.
yes. So the movie should have given him more flaws so then the audience would root for her and who's the main character that Ryan Gosling plays.
But you see that puts like that makes it more realistic. One of the reasons why this movie is so fun is because it's incredibly romanticized, and part of that is it's such a common thing in Hollywood is like the love at first sight part, which is why at the end they get back together because the story gave them that click from the beginning.
It's essentially melodramatic.
Yes.
Yeah. It like
And
the whole
it's essential to be melodramatic. It's like Romeo and Juliet, and in that review I read, the lady compared the director of this film to Shakespeare because it's what people want, and people do want this like big and bold, and that's what makes it a rememberable movie.
yeah. And that's why, like, you said on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience approval rate was 85%, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just because people love, a movie that showcases, the power of love, regardless of how unrealistic it is, you know, because in a way, regardless of like, how exaggerated it is, it's still always going to be heartwarming, and they do a good job of, kind of masking how bizarre it is through by implementing the fact that Noah is reading to Allie, who has dementia,
Yeah.
uh, while she's old, and he's trying to revive the memory of the love they had. And I just feel like that's the part that I thought, was actually very, very sad and like heartwarming. And so that was the part that I liked about it, and I feel like that's the part that makes it so emotional.
Yeah.
I
But
agree with you, Moody.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no emotional payoff to seeing them as younger folks getting together. It's really when they're old and you see how careful and considerate he is of her, even when she's suffering from dementia. That's when you come to care about them, and yeah, that's where a lot of the emotion comes in.
I
Yeah.
feel like if I would have loved the movie much more than this one if it was just about the love in the elderly, because when you compare their youth infatuation with like a much more pure love when they're older, like a selfless love, and he's like she has dementia and he's still there every day, every step, every single day. Like that proves something. But then you compare it to when they were young and all they did was just make out. Like I don't. It's frustrating because I don't. You can't get to a point of loving someone where you would agree to die together just because they're a good kisser.
You're right. Maybe we should have had more shown that was down to earth and not just full of
Yeah.
lust. And maybe that would have required seeing them somewhere in between their tenure of being together on Earth.
I
Not
think
just,
maybe
yeah.
if Noah did go to New York with her and they both struggled to like build a life there together, that would be more down to earth,
Correct.
more
But
substantial.
separating them is part of what makes this,
Yes.
the forbidden romance or star-crossed lovers.
Got to get that conflict.
Yes.
and I wanted to say, like, Lucas, you said it was frustrating how you saw that, like, there was like it's kind of like cognitive dissonance when you look at their love story, because
hmm
their events in, like, while they're old, and him reading to her, trying to, like, be persistent in his love for her, it kind of shows how pure it is and how true, that connection they have is. But then you go back to the beginning of the movie when it first like started to develop, and you realize that this all like just happened in a summer where, like,
hmm
there was just countless scenes of them making out, and you begin to wonder, like, how can like something so pure that they're showing at the end of the movie like result from
Horny kids.
those initial events. Yeah. And so that's why it's cognitive dissonance, man.
Dude, hold on. The war scene. This is a really odd topic, but the war scene was garbage.
Yeah, it was poorly made.
World War II is supposed to be a pivotal, like, in between stage
Yeah.
between like when they were
Eras.
together in their youth in the summer, and then when they rekindled their relationship and met up. Even in the description of this movie on Google, like they mentioned, oh, he
Yeah.
goes off to World War II and he comes back. I'm like, oh yeah, he did go to the war, huh?
Yeah.
Forgot.
If the director did not include the scene where he went to war and Finn died, the movie would not have changed at all.
Right. Like, what are the ramifications of him going off to war? There were none, apparently.
Maybe
Just Finn dying. That's the only thing that happened there, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that just feeds more into his, sadness and all that. But
which maybe it helps develop his psyche so that eventually he would become mad after he finished building the house. Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe he got messed up a little bit during the war, which is why he could.
I think, like what they wanted to do was show that Noah was like that he lost everything, with the
Mhm.
death of his best friend and then the death of his father, to the point where he only had the house
And
left,
yeah,
and how
and
that all comes back to Allie, like the
Mhm.
one person he needs to get
Right.
now that everything else is gone.
And he
And so
poured
It's what every woman wants.
everything he had into remodeling this house. It was like a passion project, probably for him to help deal with his grief and trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't the movie call it his labor of love?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did, which is weird. I don't see like how the house was like such a like.
It's because it's the house
Oh,
they always talked about moving into when they were gonna fall in love and be
Yeah.
together forever one day.
And all of the design choices he made for the house were what Allie told him what she wanted.
And I guess if you don't like the makeout scenes, if they don't come across as like true love to you, at least like him constructing the house and setting up that area for her to
For
paint,
her.
like for her. He's the one that sort of nurtured her desire to paint, and that's definitely something the
Yeah.
movie does well in
Yeah,
making it
that's
seem
true.
like he cares for her. Hey, Moody, I gave you a positive review earlier. Do you got a negative review for me on about the Notebook?
Yes, I do actually. So let me find it. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian gave this movie a 1 out of 5, and in his review he said, "Dentistry in the Renaissance could not have been more painful than watching this." And to some extent, I would agree with that. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say it was painful, but it was more so annoying and confusing, like more frustrating, I'd say.
Yeah, like dear listener, have you know that last night at 2:31 a.m. Moody texted me, "Real talk, that movie was trash."
Yeah, no, the first thing I actually commented on, I said, "Wow, man!" I said, "What did I say?" I said Rachel McAdams was so fine, and then you agreed with me, and then I said, "Yeah, real talk, that movie is trash," and it was, you know.
Real talk, for me, this is a solid 3-star movie.
I wouldn't give it 3 stars.
What would you give it? 1, just like your reviewer over there, critic?
I'd give it 2. I feel like if they didn't have the element where they were with Allie having dementia, I mean, of course, this is all based on the book, you know.
Yes.
And I was reading stuff and I said that like I saw that the book was actually really different, and I hope we could talk about that later. But I feel like the movie did a good job of really capturing the power of the emotional power of their elderly stages, and him trying and like reading to Allie with dementia. I feel like that was an element that kind of made the movie a little better for me. Other than that, I feel like the whole love story is really organized.
I don't think it holds up well. Like, this movie couldn't come out this year and do well at all, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
My bad, I'm opening caramel creams. All that.
Oh my gosh. You have to edit this out.
What? Well, like I said, it had a mammoth score of 3.4 stars out of 5 on this app I use to review movies. And I gave it a 3, so I don't even like it as much as others. But I still don't think it's terrible.
So what would you say? Like, would you say it's bad, okay, good, or very good? Well, how would you rate it? Like using that word, like that word scale.
If I had to use, with those words you just said, I don't even think it's good enough to be good. I would just say it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in between. Yeah, I guess I lean more towards bad.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Lucas?
I do think it's bad, but I also respect how it does an excellent job of what it wants to do, which is tug at really simple emotions. But then when you're done with it, you realize that it's not realistic, and then you realize, oh, you wasted your time on something very unrealistic.
Yeah,
So
in the grand scheme of things, like they achieved what they needed to achieve, you know, with respect to like, you know, 2004. They made a bunch of, you know, teenage girls fall in love with this, you know, fantastical love story, and you know it had a good return in the box office. And who cares if years down the line they realized that they were stupid for, you know, showing interest in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it did what it needed to do.
It's interesting to talk about how the story of the Notebook is unbelievable. While there are a couple miracles, like the couple simultaneously dying together in the end, for the most part, it stays in the realm of possibility. Just a couple weeks ago, I rewatched another romance movie with Rachel McAdams, the same girl in this flick, and that one is called About Time. And not only does it deal with the concept of true love and romance, it it has elements of time travel involved, and yet that movie is somehow more believable than this. The this yeah, its one job was to be a romance movie, and it just has flaws. When that other movie About Time with Rachel McAdams, it's got half of it's science fiction, and the love story is also more realistic. So yeah, maybe this is bad. I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh yeah, because like people understand that it's science fiction, so like
Mhm.
I'm sure, with like keeping that in mind, you could find more, I don't know, it's easier to like identify. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but
I think what you're trying to say is in a science fiction movie, you're not expecting a good romance. So when you do get one, it stands out more.
Yeah.
Whereas in a rom-com, you're expecting good romance, and then it's easier to
Yeah.
get disappointed.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Well, this isn't a rom-com though.
Oh yes, pardon.
Yeah, you
Mine
missed
is
the
com.
term rom-com.
It's a rom-dram.
Well, hey, I think it counts. Noah's dad was pretty funny.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
feel like
bad.
I didn't actually find much like comedic relief in this movie.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I
You
mean,
need comedic relief from like stress and tragedy.
yeah, you're right. I didn't really need the relief. That's actually a bad term. I just didn't find much comedy in it at all. Can we talk about like the beginning and like how? Because I feel like that's the crazy part, and that was like that made me say like,
Oh, hey, the part where he's hanging on the Ferris wheel and demanding a date, that's like coercion and is emotional abuse.
I
yeah,
know.
basically.
That happens in so many movies, and it's like
I
just
know.
now becoming apparent how manipulative
Bonkers.
guys can be to sort of demand the favor of a woman he wants to covet. It's nuts. He was threatening suicide.
Hmm.
It makes like I'm not gonna lie, like I thought Noah was a creep, bro.
Yes.
And and throughout his life, you could kind of some people could see him as a creep.
Yeah.
He even said like when I see something that I want, I go crazy about it or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
yeah.
it's just like their love was like founded upon like just his physical attraction to Allie, and then
And his demanding crazy nature.
yeah, and maybe that could play into the fact that he was a poor kid from the South, and she was a city girl, and so maybe like it's trying to show that even though he doesn't have the economic standing, like he could still show like I guess his commitment to her and like how badly he wants her. Like
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what won her over, and also and his charm. Also, that I would say that shows his lack of manners if he's doing crazy stunts like that at the carnival.
yeah, dude, you would
true.
never see that. Like if you saw that like on a news story, bro, you'd be like, okay, people would call that guy like a
A, lu-
misogynist, an incel.
They call him a lunatic. Also,
Yeah,
they probably call the police.
Did you guys notice Noah when he's very old is a lot more mattered and sophisticated than when he was a kid?
Yes, I
Just
did.
like his vocabulary and stuff.
I mean, yeah, he did read Walt Whitman.
That's true.
And this movie is predictable on that note because I figured maybe maybe they weren't going for mystery or ambiguity, but I figured pretty early on that the old folks that were reading were our two main characters back in the 40s.
Yeah, that was really easy to figure out.
At what point did we actually know that the old lady's name was Allie? Was that
They-
right in the beginning? They
No,
said her.
they said her name later on, I think.
Okay, because I know Noah was introduced as a Duke.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know why. I
Nickname?
don't know why.
Maybe
Was
maybe
that just for the audience's sake?
Nickname?
because maybe when he was like reading the story to her, like he didn't want to say
He wanted
Noah,
it to be obvious.
and they
Yeah.
can have her think that he's Noah. Like, I don't know. Maybe just to help her focus on the story and not be confused between two different Noahs, or like,
That's
mix
right.
that up.
Or if she made the connection too soon, maybe she wouldn't like be released from her memory, or some other effect that wasn't desired would happen.
Yeah.
He wrote 365 letters to her in a year, and that established that he's a pretty avid writer, and that's why he was able to pretty much write a book, or he filled up that journal all about their life.
I thought it was Allie who read it to him. On the inside cover it says, "Written by Allie. Read this so that I can remember."
No way.
Yeah.
She wrote that?
Yeah, you
Pretty
didn't
sure.
know that was Allie's journal?
It was Allie's.
Oh my gosh. Now I feel like an idiot.
Bro, how are you hosting this podcast? I'm just joking.
Okay, my bad. I'm not a notebook expert. I'm just a guy who watched it
No,
last night.
that's something like you had to focus, kind of. They didn't blatantly say it. But...
I did see the note from Allie that said, read this to me and I'll come back to you. But I thought he might have wrote the book and then read it to her once. He's like, hey, can you sign this for me? She's like, sure.
Did you guys cry?
No.
No.
The first time I watched it, I did at the end, but not this time.
How old were you when you first watched it, Lucas?
It was like a month ago.
A month ago?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like more...
No, I think the younger I was, the less I'd understand it, so it would not be likely that I cried.
I thought that, for me, I feel like the younger you were, like, the more you probably would have liked it.
Yeah. As in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. What was I gonna say? Oh, did you guys... So, like, it's set in the 1940s, but I don't know. I didn't really get a 1940s feel from the movie.
Only like in the jazz when she was with Lon.
I mean, I felt more like 60s, 70s. I don't know. At one point, I felt it was in the 70s.
Huh.
Maybe because most of it's set in the country, and like in the cities where you get all the culture differentiation that separates the decades. But in the country, that doesn't really happen. The country really is stagnant.
Stays the same. Yeah, stagnant.
Yeah.
He drove an old car. I mean.
Yeah, the cars. Yeah, I guess.
That doesn't really give you the feel. That's just a prop, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I guess the war happened, but again, we said that was sort of irrelevant.
Yeah. Were the hairstyles on point? Like that's another thing. Like I thought the hairstyles should have been like different for the 40s. For the women.
Well, now that I think about it, Ryan Gosling looked fine with like shaggy hair and a beard, but now
that was fine.
If I contextualize it in the 40s, they probably thought he was some crazy mountain man for having that type of getup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I feel like the young schoolboys did have long hair, right?
I don't remember any young fella having hair in the movie. Oh, dang, it's snowing. Look at that.
Yeah, it's snowing a lot.
You guys want to come over to my house and build a snowman after this?
Lucas, we're on a podcast.
Can I give you guys a little bit of a corny movie joke?
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, let's see if you can get this one correct after I ask the question. What does Abe Lincoln have in common with a poor quality pirated movie?
Is this dark humor?
Yes.
Okay. They both got shot in the theater. Ha!
Yeah.
I actually just pieced that together. I haven't heard that one.
Nice.
That was good.
So the parallel between Allie and her mom, and how they both fell in love with a poor country boy.
I knew that they were very similar the second Allie said they were talking about their summer love, and Allie's parents were talking about their summer love, and the mom said it's just trouble. I knew once she said that she was very similar to Allie.
So I feel like her mom was doing the right thing though.
Of course, yeah.
Like maybe not with the letters, not with the letter. Actually, maybe what the Because, dude, I don't think, like I said, I wanted her to be with Lon because I didn't think Noah was a healthy dude, man. Because,
He's a drunk.
yeah, because like when she was like, she went to the yard. I don't know what that was to look at her old sweet, and I feel like she didn't like because when Allie is with. It's hard. Like if Allie was to spend her life with Noah, dude, based on like if you consider like the foundation of their love and all that, like they even said that they argued on everything, all right?
Yeah.
And like that scene when he was confronting her, he said that what did he say exactly? He said, You'll call me an arrogant son of a bitch whenever I'm acting like one, and I'll call you a pain in the ass when you are one."
Yeah.
And you are 99% of the time. Like, dude, that's just like that's not healthy. And I feel like
Incompatibility.
her mom knew that if she went with that old guy, like she probably would have ended up in a insecure state. And I know how Noah argued that Allie, you can't just go with Lon for the security, but I feel like security is important, okay? And not just financial security. There's more. It's emotional, and that's something that Noah really couldn't have given her, considering how I don't know, just sort of delusional, man.
Yeah, but you're sort of exaggerating the faults of what the hell's his name? What's his name?
Lon,
No,
Noah.
Noah. Yeah, because we know it works out. Noah doesn't like go further down the rabbit hole of craziness, and I mean, you
Yeah, okay,
think
but
you
they
you
don't
think
show us. That's why it's unrealistic, dude. Like
yeah,
yeah, of course the ending, yeah, it's gonna be happy they die together, but dude, realistically,
realistically, he turns into a wife beater.
n- or yeah, I feel like
I
they,
don't have evidence for that, but
yeah, I would. That's feel like yeah, like I'm not gonna impose like that, but realistically, I don't think that making out 99% of the time is gonna maintain a healthy relationship.
it's not.
Because and that you can know, like it's all lust, dude. Like the first thing she did was like sleep with him, man. Like when she came to his house after that boat ride, and she did it.
Like, I don't know how many times they did, dude.
The man was on the floor in the morning. But yeah, like it's just. Have you guys ever heard of like a conversation, like talk,
Mm-mm.
But like it's. But then again, that's what people love, because in Hollywood, the way you show true love is through
Something visual and
yeah, it's through sex, dude, and that's what people loved. Lon was a nice, handsome man, wealthy, fought in the war. He actually had like a more reasonable foundation for their relationship. Like she
yeah,
was his
she helped him
nurse,
to.
and he's like, "Can I take you on a date?" You know, he proposed to her, and I'm sure the fact that his parents liked him made that all a lot more easier for him. But I don't know, Lon. There's nothing wrong with Lon in my opinion. Sorry, I talked for a long time there.
No, you're good.
Did you guys see problems with Lon?
Uh, no, no, not really.
Yeah.
I think when they were talking at the table right before he proposed, he seemed a little bit cocky.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just. I think when you propose, you want to be confident, though.
Yeah, because they were, but yeah, they've,
But he
I don't
did say he asked her parents first.
yeah. How long have they been dating before he proposed? Did they tell? Was it like 3 years?
No, I don't know.
they said she was an assistant nurse or nursing assistant her junior year of college, and okay, so she met him then, and then 7 years later, after she broke with Noah, is when they got back together.
So yeah, it was about what, 3 years?
It'd have been about 3 years, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh no, or two maybe, because she was a June. I don't know, man.
I have a big question for you two.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Pretty well.
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Doing all right.
Lovely.
Yeah. Happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
Me too. A lot of fun.
True. What did you think of like besides like the story? What did you think of the directing, the cinematography. What do you have to say about it? The acting. Like, who do you think played their part the best? We'll start there.
First of all, I feel like they could have gotten someone better to play older Noah. At least just someone that looked more like Ryan Gosling in his 60s, 70s.
Is he supposed to be Ryan Gosling though? Because he was looking through old photographs of when they were younger, and they weren't pictures of
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams and
Those
Ryan Gosling.
are those actually pictures of him with his wife?
I think so. I think Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams is sort of just story characters that are like play the memory. Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you think or no?
But yeah, I feel like yeah, that could be it. But you could probably understand why like I would think that they're meant to
Oh
be
yeah,
younger
definitely.
versions of them. But yeah, I feel like yeah, they're just fill-ins. Other than that, I mean, the acting, I didn't feel like anyone did a bad job.
At every age and stage, the acting was well.
I feel like
Like
Rachel
when they were
was-
young, the actors did a great job of
yeah,
seeming like dumb, infatuated kids, and when they were older, they did a good job of seeming older. Yeah.
You're right. They were able to cover the various ages they had to, but that said, I didn't think they were outstanding as their characters. Maybe it's just because they weren't super interesting characters. It's just generic boy and girl, I think.
yeah. But no, I feel like the scenes were like Allie was like angry or like anything with like frustration. I feel like Rachel McAdams like did a good job with those. It's like convincing. Ryan Gosling, yeah, he did okay. Well, how would you describe Noah, like the character, the Ryan
Well-
Gosling's character?
Well,
And one,
I've covered this before in the podcast because we've covered a couple Ryan Gosling movies. Ryan Gosling is always like timid in a weird way and awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd
Mhm.
describe him like that. And also, I would describe Noah as very passionate. And then I think their social classes define large parts of their personalities too, more so than they should. But I guess that's what they were going for.
yeah.
That's true.
Have you guys seen Remember the Titans?
No.
Mm-mm.
What?
Nope.
Dude, that's crazy. You guys need to watch that. But yeah, that was like I bring it up because that was like Ryan Gosling's like one of his like first early roles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like a one of the football players. He was like a supporting character, not even maybe even less than a supporting character. But
I'm gonna look up what he looks like in the movie.
yeah, his name. If you look at the
Alright.
cast on Google, he's actually like the third person listed, but he was not that important in the movie. It's just because
Oh.
he was one of the few people who actually
Oh wow.
went big after.
He's the second person listed, and only after Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he was not that important in the movie at all.
That's cool.
People like Ryan Hurst and Wood Harris right after him, yeah, they were like more so the main characters.
Do you guys
Yeah.
find a lot of like
Little-
symbolism in the movie?
Yeah, with like the birds.
Yeah, that was true.
But the birds was kind of dumb in my opinion. I thought it was a
It's like a generic symbol.
yeah.
There was one scene I'll talk about when she's driving away from Ryan when they're older and she's going back to Lon. She's about to crash into a truck and then she goes into the ditch and then she starts reading the letters. I feel like that impending crash is like a symbol of
She
one
was
of her
going the wrong way.
yeah, like she was about to crash her life in a decision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I just thought, yeah, that's actually good.
Yeah. We understand that she's distraught and emotional, so it impairs her driving. But yeah, definitely like the crash itself. Well, she didn't crash, go off the road and almost crash. You're right.
Mhm.
It does symbolize that. Hey,
It's kind of like a foreshadowing as well because she didn't crash and then right after her not crash, she read the letters. So you can kind of tell, oh, she's not going to crash because she's going to go back to Ryan who had the letters. Who wrote
Oh
her
my-
the letters.
guys, I got 28 facts about the Notebook for you. You want to hear them?
Yes.
Pretty interesting. Okay, first, the Notebook is the most successful Nicholas Sparks adaptation, and I'm not surprised.
What other books did it even have?
Oh, he writes countless romance books.
Oh,
How bored
me-
is this guy?
Let me look up his other popular ones and we'll see if we're familiar. Nicholas Sparks.
I'm surprised. I was surprised when I found out that the Notebook wasn't like that old. like the book.
Yeah.
It's like ran in '96, I think. I thought it was way older.
You can see Ryan's mic when he's hanging off the Ferris wheel, it says.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you look closely when the camera's pointing at him hanging from the behind, you can see the mic on the back of his shirt. Nick Cassavetes, whatever, wasn't the first choice for director. Variety reports that Steven Spielberg, Jim Sheridan, and Martin Campbell were also interested in directing the movie. Oh, The Notebook is the first novel Nicholas Sparks published. Wow.
Dude, I would have loved to see what Spielberg could have done with that movie.
Me too.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. That kind of annoys me because I feel like it's way better.
Yeah, but come on. What was he gonna do with it?
Yeah, there's not much, you know.
It's the writing. It's the writing that could be enhanced. I don't know about the directing.
Then again, the book was different. I've heard. I read something that said that the book, Noah was actually kind of portrayed as more like unstable.
Really?
Yeah, kind of like a Jay Gatsby, you know.
That makes sense. I'm reading right now that the book is mostly from Noah's perspective, and you get to see his reaction to things, and it's not from her point of view at all. So yeah, I'm sure you would get deep dive into his psyche.
Oh, hold on. Wait. If we were to like take the story of the Notebook from Lon's perspective, it's kind of like the southern version of The Great Gatsby, I think. Maybe. No, that's a stretch. Whatever. You just mentioned it, and I wanted to say something.
Come on. It says Rachel isn't wearing shoes in the rain scene because they disintegrated in the water. This happened a lot with her clothes, which were actually made in the 1940s. So much of it was falling apart. It's strange.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to her feet.
Me neither.
No, that kind of sounded creepy. But no, I nothing. Never mind.
Guess what?
What?
Chicken butt.
Ryan wore brown contacts for filming. Since older Noah was portrayed by James Gardner and he had brown eyes, Ryan had to wear brown contacts to cover up his blue eyes.
So he is meant to be Noah. Like,
right.
same people.
Well, I guess so.
Wait, so who had more screen time, Ryan Gosling or the older actor?
Gosling.
Gosling for sure.
Well, yeah, that's not fair to put contacts in someone. Clearly, it makes sense. Dude, wait, blue eyes? Whatever.
The movie was filmed in reverse. All the older Allie and Noah scenes with Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling were filmed first. Ryan then had to lose 20 pounds of muscle during his Christmas vacation and shave off his older Noah beard to transform into the younger, fresh-faced Noah who wooed Allie on the Ferris wheel, it says.
Wow. Dude, wait. Oh. Okay, never mind.
Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears were considered for the lead roles. Wow.
That would have made the movie even worse.
I disagree. I'm kidding. Maybe.
Britney Spears as an actress, no, I'm sorry. She's talented, but I don't think she could act. Has she even acted in anything?
Has Justin Timberlake ever acted?
Oh yeah.
Using
the Social Network, which is a great movie.
Oh dang, Britney Spears actually has. She has a few movies. No, yeah, she literally has one movie, and then the rest of them are like movies about her, like Britney Spears.
If they were casted, though, I think they would definitely get much more attention from teenage girls at that time.
Ryan Gosling did some method acting for this movie. He spent 2 months doing Noah things and living in Charleston, South Carolina, by building furniture, and he built the table in the dinner scene.
Sweet.
And then Rachel did the same. She took etiquette and took ballet classes for the film.
Wow.
Epic.
Very epic indeed.
Didn't they date in real life after the movie?
No, it says they couldn't stand each other in real life.
What?
Yeah, it says despite the chemistry on screen, the intense chemistry, Ryan and Rachel couldn't stand each other. They fought so much that Ryan actually asked for another woman to come and run lines with him during breaks, and Nick, the director, finally had to hold an intervention. Yeah.
That's cap. Look, I looked up Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams.
Oh wait, no, they did go on a date for 2 years.
Yes, from 05 to 07 it says. Wait, so they still hated each other though on set?
Yeah, they hated each other on set, and then they dated for 2 years after, so things got better. But that didn't last either.
Did they have kids together?
At all, really.
Really? Okay, well, I agree. I disagree. Because I felt like the scene when she came back for like 5 minutes, and then she was
Oh.
like, why'd you call me darling? And they had to
That
like
that was heartbreaking. That
say
was
about
so
It was
that was so
heartbreaking.
it was traumatic.
yeah,
It was.
and when like who's the actor that played Old Noah? James something Garner?
James Gardner.
Yeah, when he cried, dude, like he really sold that, you know?
Mhm.
And
Very
I was really able to feel, because that does happen in real life, man.
It
Like
does.
your loved one gets dementia or Alzheimer's, and you just watch her slowly forget about you, and oh, it's terrible.
The actress who played old Allie was or is Nick's mom, and Nick the director, Nick Cassavetes.
But she
Interesting.
share the same last name.
No, but it's his mom.
She got married. Wait, never mind.
She got remarried, that's why.
No, she's still alive.
Bruh, she's still alive. She's 90.
James Garner passed away. Rest in peace.
Did he? When did he pass away?
2014.
Dang, Gina Rollins was hot back in the day.
Was she?
Yeah. Oh, I get it now. I recognize this. The old pictures they were looking at of them as their younger selves, it was actual younger portraits of James Gardner and the other lady. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why they would do that. Like, I feel like you have to be consistent because they're saying that Ryan Gosling is meant to be young Noah, and that they're the same person. But then they show those different pictures. I don't know. I kind of like the way you thought it was. How you said that Ryan and Rachel were just like fill-ins for like a story.
Yeah.
If that's okay, but then there's the contact detail about both of them having brown eyes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yes.
that's why it's weird. They should have been more consistent.
Huh.
Do your guys' moms like this movie? Have you seen it?
I haven't asked.
I don't think my mom's a big fan.
I think my mom's seen it, but I don't.
Oh wait, I asked my aunt today who I live with, and she's a big Hallmark lady, and she also reads like romance novels, and she said she likes it a lot. She's like, I love it. I love it.
All Hallmark movies are the same.
Okay, buddy.
All Hallmark Christmas movies are the same.
We know.
We don't. I was gonna say something. The only time my mom talks about this movie, she tells the story of when she was watching it with her sister while her sister was pregnant, and she just couldn't stop crying. But that's it.
So why do people? Are we wrong for hating on this movie?
No, we're men for hating on this movie.
Yeah, we are men. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also like a harmless movie, you know. I threw it on, and I was having a good time. Gotta say that.
Yeah, like that dude that said, oh, it was painful, like a dentist and the Renaissance. Like I wasn't experiencing pain. I wasn't
No,
like
not at all.
I
Not-
wasn't enjoying it, but it's just it was just I could like a movie or just like feel fine watching it, but I'm just like I could think it's still trash, you know?
Yeah,
Like The Room. You know what I'm talking about?
The Room. Oh,
Yeah.
that's like
That
a good bad movie.
Yes, it's a terrible movie, but I
I
still
don't
enjoyed
think that's
watching
what
it.
this is, though. This isn't like so bad it's good. This is just like not as great as people give it credit for.
I wouldn't say The Room is so bad that it's good. Like I wouldn't. I feel like it's just bad, but
No,
I guess.
I know, but it's so bad. It's so bad. That's why people like watch it and still talk about it because it's just a prime example of a horrible film.
But with The Notebook, I feel people are gonna continue to like fantasize over it and just love it.
I mean, I certainly was like, it is like a storybook romance, and you know, it's as I was watching, I'm like, it'd be nice to be in love with somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, it's gonna be. It doesn't hold up, but it's also timeless in a way. I think
That's for sure.
yeah. people are gonna come back to The Notebook and be like, classic love movie, classic romance. Well, we
Would you-
talked about almost exclusively The Notebook for the entire time, so good job, guys.
Yes, sir. Wait, well, I have a question. Would you guys watch it again, like for fun?
No,
No.
Yeah, me neither. I wouldn't watch it again.
no. Unless someone really wanted to watch it, I would watch it with them, but I would never
Suggest it.
suggest this. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I was the one who suggested we do it. That comment was extremely sarcastic, but then we all took it seriously.
Yeah, we did it.
Well,
Here we
I'm
are.
glad it came this way.
I wasn't big on it, but it wasn't what I was expecting, which is not, like makes me happy.
Yeah. Let's get into wrap up. A big thing we got to do is put this on the big board of rankings.
Big
So,
rankings.
I know you guys haven't seen most of these movies, and you're not even the two main hosts, but they couldn't be here today. So, we're still going to try to fit it in on this list. So far, on the movies we've reviewed, we got number 1, Interstellar, number 2, Good Will Hunting, 3, Nightcrawler, 4, Drive, 5, Eraserhead, 6, Creep, and 7, I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
The only movie I've seen on that list is Interstellar.
Okay.
Can you repeat the list? My bad.
Interstellar, Good Will Hunting, Nightcrawler, Drive, Eraserhead, Creep, I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
You guys saw Creep?
Yeah.
Creep was good,
Yeah, dude. I like that it's shot from a handheld camera. It's still.
and it's a short movie. I liked Creep.
Have you seen 2?
Yeah, I saw Creep 2. Creep 2 wasn't as good. But
Yeah.
It was okay. It was so good. Like okay.
I'm gonna put Notebook at dead last.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure.
What's Eraserheads? That sounds.
Eraserhead is a David Lynch movie. He's a pretty famous old director, and it came out in 1977. It's sort of a cult classic.
Oh yeah, I trust it. The reviews are high.
So I got the Notebook at dead last right now.
Who's above the Notebook?
I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I really didn't like I'm Thinking of Ending Things either, but I still.
Oh, that's a new film.
Yeah, it's from this year.
So would you say do you more align with the audience or the critics in general?
For the Notebook or for movies in general?
In general.
Damn. Wow. I'd probably say the audience.
Yeah. For the Notebook, I feel like we all are like more critics with this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
in general, I'd say I'm audience.
I guess it really depends. But there's some movies that critics just hype up, and it's like not all that.
Yeah.
I'm sort of in the middle. I think you're more casual moviegoers. Like, of course, the critics don't know anything. That's because they like a certain type of movie.
And then they think too hard sometimes.
Yeah, true.
But that's critics' job, to be critical.
All right, is that a wrap?
It could be a wrap. I guess you guys aren't like promoting yourselves at all, but you could give you don't have social media.
Oh, hold on, let me shout out. Follow me on Instagram at msaleh. Do I have an underscore in there? I don't know. Hold on, let me check.
How do you spell that, Saleh?
Okay, Instagram is all lowercase MSALEH_17.
Thank you. Our graphic is by Vaishon Brandon. You can find him at graphite.vmb on Instagram. You can find me at Jaden Easton on Instagram, at Jaden Was Funny on Twitter, and on Letterboxd, I'm Flips1985, FLIPZ1985. And then our whole podcast has its own Twitter page at AttemptCast on Twitter, like I said. Our music is by Carolyn. She's going undercover for today. We're not going to give you any more information, but just know the music is by Carolyn. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. And thank you, Lucas, and thank you, Moody, for joining me and talking about The Notebook today. I hope to have you guys on again one day soon.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
It was a fun time, bro.
Thank you, Jaden.
ET phone home.
Hard cut.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Come back next week for another installment of a First Attempt Filmcast, in which we will cover Remember the Titans, which I've never seen before. And I'm going to be joined again by the two guest stars you heard in this episode. So just be looking out for that. Have a nice day, and a Happy New Year.